guys, Laura here. I'm here to do my May reading wrap up. I wound up reading 7 books, 2 novellas, and I listened to 1 audiobook. So the first book that I completed, and most of these books do have reviews on my channel, and I will state that in them, and they'll just be before all these videos on my channel. But yeah, so the first book I completed was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, and this does have a review on my channel. This book follows the story of a Sherlock and a Watson in a modern-day Connecticut prep school, and I really liked this book. It was really, really fast-paced, and really, really good. And this book was kind of different. I've never read a Sherlock Holmes story where Sherlock was played by a girl. All my adaptations I have read, Sherlock has always been a boy. So that was very, very unique to have. I know I've seen a lot of Watsons that are girls, but I've never actually seen a Sherlock that is a girl. So if you have any recommendations about that, please post them below. That is just an unexpected nice that I really, really liked about this book. And it's going to be a series, which is so exciting. And the next one I think comes out next February or March. But I really, really like this book. It was really, really good. And it follows these 2 characters, Charlotte, obviously, and Jamie. And they meet under mysterious circumstances when their Connecticut prep school goes into mayhem when murders are being committed. And they are actually descendants of the original Sherlock Holmes and the original Watson, which I think adds an unexpected layer of awesomeness to this story. If you want my full thoughts about this, check out my non-spoiler review where I talk in detail about it. But overall, I really liked it. It was a very, very fast-paced story, and it was a very, very unique way to tell a Watson story. And it also dealt with some controversial topics, which I don't think are very, very often addressed in Sherlock Holmes retellings, and I was pleasantly surprised by them. And then the next thing that I finished listening to The Cage by Megan Shepherd, and I got that I listened to it as an audiobook because I actually have, which I'm reading now, is the sequel to that, which is The Hunt, and I'm actually in the middle of that now, but I had to read it. I really liked it. I gave it like 4 stars. It's a very much in the same vein as like the Maze Runner series. It's very, very similar, and I think I was a little bit more connected to the characters in this world than I was the Maze Runner, but I will talk more about that in a series wrap-up or a series review at the end of June when I'm done with The Hunt. And then the next book that I read was Walk the Edge by Katie McGarry. There is also a review about this on my channel. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was such a fast-paced read. This is the second book in the Thunder Road series, the sequel to Nowhere to Run. And this book follows Razor and Brenna, who you meet Razor in the first book, and he is Oz's best friend, and he has a little bit of an edge. And then you meet Brenna, who is this brain, bad boy, good girl. What happens when they meet? What happens when their worlds collide? And what happens when Razor needs Brenna to solve a mystery in his life that only she can solve? And it's such a fast-paced read. I really loved it. I was a lot more invested in these characters than I was in the Emily and Oz relationship, but I don't know. I really liked it. I thought that it was a super realistic way of telling the story, and I was so invested in this character. And I cannot wait for the next book in the series because we finally get Violet's story. Violet and Chevy, who are 2 other characters in the story. And I think that this is the first time that Katie McGarry is doing a relationship that is not totally new. These characters not only have known each other before, but they also have been together before. So that is and that comes out next January or February, which I'm so excited about. But yeah, so this book was just great. As always, check out my full spoiler review where my full discussion. I'll give you guys a few more thoughts, but overall, 5 stars, so good. Go out and read it. And then the next book that I read was Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan, The Hidden Oracle. This book came out early May. I actually got it the day that it came out and started reading Chilly Dever. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. There's a review on my channel, but if you don't know, this book goes back to the Greek world, and it follows the character of Apollo when he is turned into a teenager. And hilarity ensues, dramatic stuff ensues. He is just such a fun narrator. He may rival Percy Jackson for how much I enjoy this character because he is just so funny. But yeah, it's a great mystery story. The ending, if you were slightly disappointed at the end of Blood of Olympus, read the story because you get a lot of fan faves, a lot of cameos, and it is just a fun ride. Again, check out my non-spoiler spoiler discussion about Hidden Article because I do talk spoilers towards the end. But yeah, so that's the next thing that I read. And then after that, I read The Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, the second book in the Red. Overall, I like this book. I gave this book 4 stars. This is the sequel to The Red Queen, and it definitely expanded the world that we saw in the Red Queen, and I really, really liked it. The story it wasn't like consistent. I think that there was some predictability and some unique elements, and where I really felt The Red Queen really did was totally unique. This story did fluctuate, so I couldn't give it a whole 5 stars. But overall, I really liked it, and I thought that it really took the world building to a next level, and I really liked it. If you want more about it, check out my spoiler review of it. I do talk like very, very basic stuff at the beginning of it, but it mostly is a spoiler review. But overall, I really liked it. I just don't want to spoil anyone, and hopefully, I'll get to read the novellas Steel Scars and Queen Song soon. And then the next thing that I read was the final 2 novellas in the Shadow Academy series, Born into Endless Night and An Angel Twice Descending. They both were so good. I gave them both 5 stars. They were amazing. They were some of my favorite books in that series. The last one was a tearjerker, I will be honest. But I won't talk spoilers here. If you want spoilers, go to my Shadow Academy review. It's non-spoiler, and I will do it if you want one. But overall, I really liked it, and Simon's Journey just made me so excited, and I'm so excited to read Lady Midnight and The Bane Chronicles. And then after that, the next thing I won is The Wedding Cake Murder by Joanne Foucault. This is like the 12th book in the Hannah Swanson series. I finally caught up to the series last year, so now I'm just steadily reading it until it ends. I think we have 2 to 3 more books left. This book was good. I gave it 3 stars. I am still not a fan of the romance. I'm hesitant about the romance direction. That's the only thing that I was a little bit hesitant about in this book. But again, these books are just super fun. The world building is just fun. You get to meet all these characters, and she winds up solving a murder. And she winds up going to New York, and then the thing gets changed to Lake Eden. And an unexpected murder happens for one of the judges that is judging the baking competition that she's in. And it was just fun. I liked it, and it ended in a Hannah wedding, which was really, really cool. But yeah, as always, these books, I give them 3 stars. The mystery was actually strong, so maybe like 3.5 stars. I didn't predict the murderer until they told me, which is sometimes rare in her books because her mysteries sometimes are a little bit weak. But overall, I really, really like them, and I'm excited to read the new one, and it's coming out, I think, in November. And then the next thing that I read was A World of Ink and Shadows by Leah Coakley. This was the Owl Crate book for January. As I said in my non-spoiler discussion, I am way behind on these books, but this was really good. I gave it like 3.5 stars. It asked the question, what if magic was involved in the creation of the Bronte stories? And overall, it was really great. I gave it 3.5 stars. If you want more of my discussion, go to my non-spoiler review where I talk more about it in detail. But it was a really, really fast-paced read. And then the last thing that I finished reading in May was The Flip Side by Sean. This book is Sean Johnson's first foray into YA literature, and I got an e-arc from Edelweiss, so thank you. I really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Follows this character named Charlie, and I did do a non-spoiler discussion if you want to check out for more details. And it follows her in her path to become an Olympic gymnast, from her path from like 2 Olympic trials to the Olympics. And it's a really, really sweet, fast-paced story. I really liked it. I could definitely see how she incorporated life of her own life and people that she knew in the gymnastic circuit. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. But check out my non-spoiler discussion for more information. But it was a very, very fast-paced read. If you're looking forward to the Summer Olympics, I highly recommend that you check it out because it was a really, really fun summer contemporary. In addition, this month I've also been reading the second Harry Potter book. I'm about halfway done with it, and I've also started listening to The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, which I've actually already read, but I'm going to re-listen to it because it's been a while, and hopefully I'll get to finish that in June and move on to The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and then The Raven King. I know I have a long way to go with those, but that's a goal. Be sure to check out my summer TBR, which will be the next video, which will talk about a lot of the books, a lot of contemporary-based books that I want to finish reading in the summer, and also my June TBR, which is going to be a bunch of stuff. So be sure to check those both out. As always, comment and like below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!